Welcome to Relaxed Reddit Readings. Today we have 4 Reddit stories for you. These Reddit stories will make you question everything. Story 1. My friend chose a date over our 7-year friendship. So my best friend of 20 years just ruined our friendship over a Tinder date, and I honestly don't know if I'm the villain here. Let me paint you the picture. I've known this guy since we were 10 years old. We're 30 now, and he's been my rock through everything. But over the last few years, something's changed. He started going radio silent for months at a time, just completely disappearing from my life without explanation. Last year was particularly brutal for me because my dad passed away. When my friend found out, he was amazing. He was there for me, supported me through the grief, everything you'd want from a best friend. But then, just like clockwork, he vanished again. Left me on read, ignored my messages, the whole deal. Fast forward to a few weeks ago. Out of nowhere, he messages me asking if I want to grab dinner and catch up. I'm thinking, finally, maybe we can address this pattern and get our friendship back on track. I suggest this restaurant we used to love, and he agrees. The day arrives, I'm already at the restaurant waiting, and my phone buzzes. It's him, saying he's running late because he's on a Tinder date that's going really well. He asks if we can reschedule. I'm sitting there, dressed up, menu in hand, and I just lost it. I told him this was exactly why our friendship was falling apart. That he keeps treating me like I'm disposable, disappearing whenever life gets complicated, and now he's literally ditching me for some random person he just met. His response? He got defensive and said I was being dramatic. That it was just dinner and we could do it another time. But here's the thing, it wasn't just dinner. It was 20 years of friendship being treated like a backup plan. It was him being there for my darkest moment and then abandoning me again. It was me constantly being the one to reach out, to maintain our connection, while he just came and went as he pleased. So I told him I was done. That I couldn't keep being his convenience friend, someone he only remembered when he was bored or when I was going through trauma. I said if a first date with a stranger was more important than 2 decades of friendship, then maybe we weren't as close as I thought. Now he's telling mutual friends that I ruined his date over something petty, and that I should have been more understanding. Some people are saying I overreacted, that everyone has the right to pursue romantic relationships. But I feel like I finally stood up for myself after years of being treated like an afterthought. The thing is, this wasn't an isolated incident. This was the culmination of 3 years of him treating our friendship like it was optional. And the timing, asking to reschedule our reunion dinner because he's busy with someone he literally just met, it felt like the ultimate slap in the face. Maybe I should have been more patient, more understanding of his dating life. Maybe I should have just rescheduled and pretended it didn't hurt. But I'm tired of always being the one to accommodate, to understand, to wait around for scraps of his attention. Am I wrong for finally putting my foot down, or should I have just accepted that I'll always come second to whatever else is happening in his life? If you're enjoying these stories, hit that like button and let me know in the comments which story you relate to the most. Story 2. I ate my friend's deer meat and now he's furious. So my husband's friend stored an entire deer in our deep freezer, and I ate some of it, and now there's this whole dramatic situation. Let me explain what happened here. My husband's buddy went hunting and got a whole deer processed, we're talking ribs, chops, steaks, ground meat, the works. All vacuum sealed and labeled professionally. Problem is, this guy doesn't have room in his freezer at home, so he asked if he could store it in our deep freezer. We said sure, no problem, help yourself to storage space. Now here's where it gets interesting. This friend comes over maybe once a month, and every single time he visits, I ask him the same question, hey, do you want to take some of this meat home with you? And every single time, he gives me the same answer, nah, maybe next time. This has been going on for months now. Months. This beautiful venison is just sitting in our freezer taking up space while this guy keeps saying he'll grab some later. So last week, I'm planning dinner for my family, and I'm staring at our freezer trying to figure out what to make. I see all this gorgeous deer meat just sitting there, and I think, you know what? He's had multiple opportunities to take this home. He keeps declining. It's been months. I'm just going to use some of it for dinner tonight. I grabbed a pack of the ground venison and made these amazing burgers for my family. They were incredible, way better than regular ground beef. Rich, flavorful, just perfect. I didn't think twice about it. Well, apparently I should have, because when this friend found out I'd used some of his deer meat, he completely lost his mind. He's acting like I stole something precious from him. He's telling my husband I had no right to touch his meat, that I should have asked permission first, that it was incredibly disrespectful. But here's what I don't understand, I've been asking him to take this meat home for months. Every visit, same conversation. I practically begged him to clear some space in our freezer by taking his deer home. If this meat was so precious and important to him, why didn't he take my multiple offers to let him reclaim it? And honestly, we're storing this for free. We're using our freezer space, our electricity to keep it frozen, and we've been doing this as a favor for months. Is it really that unreasonable that I used a small portion of it after repeatedly trying to give it back to him? My husband is caught in the middle now. He agrees that his friend has had plenty of opportunities to take the meat home, but he also thinks I should have specifically asked before using any of it. I get that perspective, but I also think there's a reasonable expectation that if you store something at someone else's house for months and keep declining to take it back, you can't be shocked when they eventually use some of it. It's not like I used the whole deer or took the best cuts. I grabbed one package of ground meat that was probably worth like $10. Am I really the bad guy here for using some meat that's been taking up space in my freezer for months after repeatedly offering to return it? Story 3. My sister is a nightmare and nobody will do anything about it. So my 15-year-old sister is basically a terror, and my parents refuse to discipline her, and it's driving me absolutely insane. Let me tell you about the kind of person we're dealing with here. My sister Abby and I used to be close when we were little kids, but everything changed when I hit puberty. For the last 5 years, she's been increasingly mean to me. Not just normal sibling rivalry, I'm talking genuinely cruel behavior. And whenever I try to talk to my parents about it, my mom just shrugs it off saying Abby is figuring herself out. My dad will occasionally try to intervene, but the moment Abby pushes back even a little, he gives up completely. So now we have this bratty teenager who thinks she can do whatever she wants because there are literally never any consequences. The incident that finally made me snap happened at our dining room table. We have this small square table, nothing fancy, but it seats our family just fine. Usually, Abby sits across from me and my parents sit on the other two sides. It's been our seating arrangement forever and it works perfectly. But lately, Abby has started sitting right next to me instead of across from me. And when I say next to me, I mean practically on top of me. She scoots her chair so close that we're basically sharing space. Her arm keeps bumping into mine while I'm trying to eat, she's leaning into my personal bubble, it's incredibly uncomfortable. So during dinner the other night, this is happening again. She's crowding me, making it impossible for me to eat comfortably, and I finally speak up. I very politely say, "Hey Abby, could you scoot your chair over a little bit? I need some space to eat." Simple request, right? Wrong. She immediately gets this nasty attitude and snaps back that she's fine where she is and doesn't need to move. I try to explain that she's literally bumping into me and making it hard for me to eat my dinner, could she please just give me a little room? That's when she really loses it. She starts yelling at me, calling me dramatic, saying I'm being ridiculous and making a big deal out of nothing. The whole dinner table erupts into chaos because she's having this meltdown over being asked to scoot her chair over slightly. And here's the part that really gets me, my parents just sat there. My mom actually took Abby's side, saying I was being too sensitive and that it wasn't that big of a deal. My dad said nothing at all. So basically, I'm not allowed to ask for basic personal space at the dinner table without being called dramatic and having my sister scream at me. This is exactly the kind of thing that happens constantly in our house. Abby does something inconsiderate or rude, I politely ask her to stop, she has a complete meltdown, and somehow I end up being the bad guy. My parents have created this monster by refusing to set any boundaries or teach her that other people matter too. I'm 17 years old and I can't even eat dinner in peace because my sister thinks she's entitled to crowd into my space and my parents think that's perfectly acceptable. The most frustrating part is that this is such a simple thing to fix. All she had to do was move her chair over like 6 inches. That's it. But instead, we had to have this huge dramatic scene because God forbid anyone ask Abby to show basic consideration for others. Am I really being unreasonable for wanting enough space to eat my dinner without being bumped and crowded? Story 4. I lost my keys while babysitting and now everyone hates me. So I was visiting my girlfriend's family in Southern Europe, and I managed to create this massive international incident over a fishing trip with her 14-year-old cousin, and now everyone thinks I'm irresponsible. This is such a mess, let me walk you through what happened. I'm 30, my girlfriend and I are visiting her family, and they have this 14-year-old son who's really into fishing. We'd talked about going fishing together earlier that day, but I initially said no because the weather was terrible. Fast forward to that evening, the parents go to bed around 9, and this kid starts begging me to take him fishing. The weather had cleared up, it was Friday night, and honestly, I was pretty excited about it too. So I agreed to take him to this popular fishing spot that's well lit and safe. Everyone fishes there, it's not some dangerous remote location. We're having a great time, catching fish, bonding, everything's going perfectly. Then we're walking along the pier, and I hear this splash. I look down and realize my keys, including the house keys, just fell into the water. Gone. Completely unretrievable. It's now past midnight, the kids' parents are asleep, and we can't get into the house. I'm standing there thinking, okay, this is not ideal, but it's not the end of the world. The kid has his phone, I have mine, we're in a safe area. I figure we can find a 24-hour cafe or just wait it out until his parents wake up. It's an inconvenience, sure, but not a crisis. The kid, however, starts panicking. He's worried about getting in trouble for being out so late. I try to reassure him that everything's fine, that I'll take full responsibility, that we just need to wait a few hours. But he's really stressed about it. So we end up finding a place to hang out until morning. When we finally get back and explain what happened, all hell breaks loose. His parents are furious with me. They're saying I was irresponsible for taking their son out so late, that I should have been more careful with the keys, that I put their child in danger by keeping him out all night. My girlfriend is also upset, saying I should have known better than to agree to go fishing that late with someone else's kid. Here's what I don't understand, yes, losing the keys was unfortunate. But it was an accident. Keys fall out of pockets sometimes, it happens to everyone. And once it happened, what was I supposed to do? Break into the house? Wake up the sleeping parents by banging on doors in the middle of the night? We handled it the best way we could given the circumstances. The kid was never in any real danger. We were in a safe, public area the entire time. We had our phones, we found a warm place to wait, and we made it through the night just fine. But everyone's acting like I committed some terrible crime by having an accident and then managing the situation responsibly. They're saying I should never have agreed to take him out that late in the first place. But this is a 14-year-old, not a toddler. It was a Friday night, the weather was good, and we were going to a popular, safe fishing spot. In my mind, this was a normal activity that just happened to have an unfortunate accident. I've been fishing countless times and never lost my keys before. It was just bad luck. But now I'm being treated like I'm some kind of irresponsible person who can't be trusted with kids. The family dynamic is all weird now, my girlfriend is questioning my judgment, and I feel like everyone's overreacting to what was basically just a really inconvenient accident. Was I really that irresponsible for taking a teenager fishing and then handling an unexpected situation as best I could? If you enjoyed these stories, drop a comment telling me which one was your favorite. And if you want more relaxed Reddit readings, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the bell so you never miss a video. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed these stories, like, comment and subscribe for more relaxed Reddit readings.